to kick off. Correct me on that. That's Bob Allen. He does the kickoff. It's high and deep. It lands in the end zone and goes out. And number 32 back to play it, but Doug Rodriguez wouldn't have done it if he did get his hands on it. That one was well booted by Bob Allen.
We certainly see why Allen does the kickoffs and Popple does the field goal kick, and he really booted that one all the way into the end zone.
You know, Greg is the leading scorer in the city with an 86 points total coming into tonight's ball game, and he picks up a quick 7 here with a touchdown and extra point. His 12th touchdown of the season and his 15th extra point to go with a couple of field goals.
He came into the game with 11 touchdowns on only 21 receptions, so he's catching a touchdown every 2 times he gets his hands on it.
All right, here come the Cougars, and a halfback option pass is down. It is incomplete. Let's see if they throw a flag. No, they don't. Intended out there, looked like it was 86, Andrew Como, at the 45-yard line. I wasn't sure if we might get some kind of face guarding by the defender on the play.
It looks like he had him beaten. Possibly it was face guarding. The ball was slightly underthrown and just didn't quite get there as Como had to reach back, and the cornerback on that side was able to knock it down. It didn't get a number. It's the pitch to Hardy. He gets off a pretty decent pass, and it could have been face guarding. I don't know. It looked like number...
My guess is that it was Mike Davis, 25. In any event, the ball goes incomplete, but and the officials are discussing things with the Kennedy coaches right at the 35-yard line, and now they're back to ready to go after it again here. The ball spotted back at the 20-yard line, 2nd and 10. You've got to, there was no contact of any kind, but you got to be a little careful when you're a defender going on the intended receiver by getting your hands up and actually, as we indicated, face guarding. That was very close, I thought. All right, handoff goes to Patrick Hardy, who else, as he moves the ball forward for only a couple of maybe 3 yards. Host of tackles in there, including 25 Davis, and also, I think, 77 Mark Meyerhoff there. Ball at the 24-yard line, just short of the 25. It'll be 3rd and a long 5 yards to go for the Cougars. They lead 14-7, but the Highlanders here at home suddenly inspired after their touchdown pass from old reliable Sperlin to Fauble. There's a pass out into the right flat, complete to Como, who looks like he has the first down, although somebody wouldn't let go of that jersey. That looks like Davis again, who made the stop, but I believe Como was able to penetrate the 30-yard line for the first down. The officials will have to decide for us. Suddenly the Golden Cougars have come out throwing the ball a little bit here after that touchdown by the Highlanders.
That's really the first time they've really gone upfield as far as Evans throwing the ball upfield instead of a sideline pattern. And this time they were able to complete it for a first down. I think they need to do more of that to control the ball, but they need to take some time off the clock.
Como was able to stay on his feet and just get across the 34 the first down as Eric Evans, the quarterback, checks with his backs, now has them split in the backfield. Handoff goes to Patrick Hardy. Looks like he lost the handle, goes down to the ground, and up come the Highlanders with the football. Up slowly, getting off the bottom of the pile is Hardy, number 3, as he lost the fumble. And I didn't see who got it back, but there were a lot of dark jerseyed Highlanders on it, and a big break for Granada Hills as they trail by 7 here with 9:35 to go in the 4th and final quarter. They have the ball at the Cougar 33-yard line. I formation, wide receivers go both sides. Yashitani to the right, Fauble left. Handoff instead goes to the tailback, Khalid Ali. Ali inside of the 30, down about to the 27-yard line. And let's see if the attack now will be strictly a ground attack for the Highlanders as they go to actually the 26.5-yard line, and Ali will check back out of the ball game following the pickup of about 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
They've had success running the ball, but again, usually on 2nd, 3rd down, they'll go to the air. Let's see if they do it again.
All right, we have Allen lined up in front of Mike Davis. And the pitch comes to Davis. He's coming wide to the near side. Cuts back. Davis inside of the 20. Down to the 14-yard line. Mike Davis, the ball carrier. Finally tripped up by Carl Smith. So Davis goes to the 14-yard line on a 1st and 10 for the Highlanders, and I would say these last two series of downs have produced a different ball club.
Certainly have. They've got the momentum on this particular play. Watch Davis. He waits for his blockers, and that's the key, and then he waits for them to make the block, and he cuts right up between them for good yardage. That was smart running.
I was going to use that word smart because he could have kept it outside, but he saw the hole that the blockers created for him, and he found it and went for it in a hurry. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line as Sperlin checking off at the line of scrimmage now. Uses the audible. Goes to the up back. That is Bob Allen. Allen down near the 10-yard line as he bulls straight ahead out of the grasp of 64, Ron Simmons, who slowed him down. And finally at the bottom of the pile was 86, Andrew Como, a two-way player for the Cougars. The ball spotted right at the 10-yard line on the near hash mark. 2nd down coming up for the Highlanders and about 4 yards to go.
I'd have to say the old Mo has switched sidelines. The momentum in this game has just gone from the Kennedy sideline over to Granada Hills. They're really pumped up. The fans are into this, standing up, and so's the entire sideline.
7:40 to go in the ball game. 14-7 in favor of Kennedy. But that lead very much in jeopardy. There's the pass toward the end zone, and again it is batted around, incomplete out of the end zone. As their defending was Marcus Jones on what appeared to be a pretty much patented copy of the earlier touchdown pass attempt from Sperlin to Fauble. Incomplete, as Jones that time read the play quite well and really had Fauble pretty well contained.
I'm a little confused because they're really running the ball well, but they decided to go to the air again to Fauble, and he wasn't open, and they're lucky they didn't get this one picked off.
Fortunately, the ball was thrown long, but I guess if the pass gets you where you are now, you just can't resist the temptation to go back to it. This time Fauble lines up on the right side. 3rd down and about 5. Sperlin with good protection fires one. Caught for a 1st down inside of the 5-yard line. And that was Fauble who caught the bullet that was thrown by Sperlin. Boy, he really let that one go, didn't he?
He sure did. It was about a 10-yard decoy pattern by Fauble. He kind of ran out there like he wasn't going to catch the ball, just turned around. It was right there. It was low. He went down to his knees and caught the ball. What a super catch.
And I believe it was 9, Brett Logan, that kept him out of the end zone. All right, here come the Highlanders. 1st and goal to go. The ball inside of the 5-yard line, very close to the goal line, and into the end zone on the carry goes Ali. So Khalid Ali into the end zone for the touchdown, and we have a 14-13 ball game with 7:05 to go, and the extra point attempt coming up.
Well, again, the momentum changed on a big turnover, and Granada Hill's able to take advantage of it. If they can get this extra point, this ball game will be tied.
Kick is on its way. It looks awfully good. No. This goes to show you what I know. Boy, that one looked, from our angle, looked awfully good, but maybe it was just a pretty kick, but it was wide to the right. No good, would you believe it? I don't know how many fouls missed this season, but that one has to really hurt the Highlanders as we have a timeout with 7:05 to go, and the Cougars hold on to a 1-point lead. They lead 14-13. With just over 7 minutes to go, he boots it. Another deep one. This one is bobbled and finally picked up by 32, Rodriguez. Rodriguez starts upfield. He's to the 15, almost to the 20-yard line before he goes down, and a host of dark jerseys over on the far side. Well, let's see how the isolation crew did on the kickoff return and see who made the tackle.
That was number 40 on the tackle, and he's the kamikaze guy. He's the first one down the field. Good ISO, Gene, and he's able to not only avoid a blocker, but make the tackle. That's good special teamwork.
That is. Blocker had a shot at him, but 40, Tim Shad would not go down. Here comes Hardy. Hardy trying to get outside, missed by one man, tries to cut the corner, loses his footing, penalty flag is thrown.
Flag on the play.
In on the stop along with number 10, Yashitani, was also 53. That would be Al Cruz. No, I don't believe that's right. I think it was 35, Dwayne Williams. Penalty flag apparently against the Cougars.
Was holding on Kennedy.
That was actually behind the play that the holding took place, as Hardy had already cut the corner, coming wide to the near sideline. The penalty flag was thrown back, so apparently one of the players got a little too eager and put a clamp on one of the defenders when it wasn't really necessary.
You know, we mentioned Hardy possibly getting tired here in the fourth quarter. He must be coming up on 25, 30 carries for the ball game, and he's got to be tired.
All right, the ball will be spotted back at the 10-yard line. It'll be first down coming up and about 20 yards to go. Boom, hit in the backfield this time is Hardy, and I think you're absolutely right. He has to be tired. Scott Craven, number 64, the primary stopper, followed immediately by 35, Dwayne Williams.
Somebody missed a block because Craven was in the backfield as soon as Hardy got the ball, and he made a great individual tackle.
All right, we're under 6 minutes now in the ball game. It's a 14-13 one-point lead for the Cougars, who have the ball with second down coming up and about 22 yards to go. All right, quarterback Eric Evans. Let's see what kind of play he has in mind for this long yardage situation. He pitches it. It's Hardy. He tries to come outside, and he does. Finally pushed out of bounds, though, as he crosses the 16 to the 17-yard line. So Hardy not only has to sweep wide to the left that time and goes out of bounds, he goes onto the running track to put another 8 or 10 extra yards on those tired legs of his. The ball will be spotted at the 17. It's going to be third down and about 14 to go for the Cougars. I don't think they're the type of team that's going to put the ball in the air at this juncture, Phil. What do you think?
I don't really believe so. If they do, it'll be possibly a short out pattern, but I don't think they feel like they want to make a mistake. They've really mistake themselves out of this ball game so far and got Granada Hills back into it. So I think they're going to be pretty conservative here. And
you have to wonder if maybe the Cougar defensive alignment is going to be a little tired. They've been on the field quite a bit here in the second half. All right, Hardy tries to go outside. He gets around Williams, still cut the corner on his feet as he tries to go to that first down marker, but is driven out of bounds before he can get there as he crosses the 25-yard line. And there was Mike Davis over there to make the stop, the left cornerback for the Highlanders.
What a great run by Hardy, and he's had an exceptional ball game. He just kept it to the outside and kept fighting for the first. Watch him to the outside. He just keeps beating these people because he's a lot faster than they are, and finally went out of bounds. It didn't really get the first down, but he's able to get them in better field position, so now if they punt, they won't have their backs to the wall. All right, Friedman checks onto the gridiron, and he indeed will kick as Fauble stands back near his 40-yard line, and he's going to be joined now by Dean Yashatani. So Friedman about due to really pump one out of here. There's the snap and the kick. Wobbly kicks it away from Fauble, who moves up on it, and he's going to let it roll as it comes back towards the Cleveland or the Kennedy goal line, and finally is downed by Como at the 42-yard line of Granada Hills. So the Highlanders, trailing by a point, 5:17 to go, as you see it right there in the contest, will have the ball first and 10 at their own 42-yard line. As Brent Sperlin checks into the backfield, the senior quarterback, 190-pounder, hasn't had a great evening passing, as he is the top passer in the Valley by a pretty good margin. He does have a touchdown pass to his credit, but overall it's not been a banner game as he hands it off to Ali, who puts a couple of moves on the outside cornerback. That's Marcus Jones, gets around him and moves the ball up across the 45-yard line before he's brought down over there by 77, Aki Calhoun. The ball at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 4 yards, 2nd and 6. Of course, the Islanders have Davis and Ali who have been running great all night and just used sparingly, but they both run for big yardage. Under 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. In motion to the near side comes Speaks. Pitch goes this time to Davis. Davis cuts back. Boy, he's been picking up big yardage as he moves the ball across midfield down to the 45-yard line of Kennedy.
Mike Davis really has been turning on that second down play very well. Consistently, they've used Ali on first down, taken him out, and Davis has picked up the big yardage on a good cutback play, as we'll see here.
Well, they both should be very fresh because they're not used that much. But watch Davis. He uses his blockers so well, and that's the key. He gets the pitch, and he waits for his blockers to block, and then he turns on the momentum and gets very good yardage.
The ball just inside of the Kennedy 45-yard line. 1st and 10, high formation for the Highlanders. Fake handoff. Instead, Sperlin rolls out. He may run. He's to the 41-yard line before he's thrown out of bounds. Pushed out over there by Jesus Martinez, along with Edwin Jones. The ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line of Kennedy as we see it again.
It's the first time tonight Sperling really got pressured a little bit too and had to run out of the pocket and takes a shot as he goes out of bounds.
I see Carl Smith also pursuing on the play. Not a very good running quarterback, but boy, he can pass when his game is on. And so far, it has not been a banner evening, as we mentioned, for the quarterback. Tight formation for the Highlanders on 2nd down and 7. Sperlin fakes the handoff. Under pressure, and down he goes. Number 11 busted through there, and that's John Diggs, who's played a very fine game overall defensively for the Highlanders, as boy, he beat his man and came in from his left linebacker spot and dropped to Sperlin for a big loss back near midfield at the 48-yard line, and I believe the Highlanders are going to take a timeout. Indeed they are.
This is Diggs from his outside linebacker position. Let's watch him. Just nobody blocks him. I think someone was supposed to pick him up. It was a roll to his left for Sperlin, and Diggs actually from his inside linebacker bursted in there and made the tackle.
He found a hole, a little highway to heaven, you might say, as he really nailed Sperlin and dropped him. And quickly, Granada Hills calls for a timeout with 3:31 remaining in the ball game. And on the missed extra point attempt by Greg Fauble, the difference in the ball game, it's the Cougars leading by a point, 14-13. All right. It'll be 3rd down and about 14 yards to go. This is desperation time now for the Highlanders. They can't afford to turn the ball over now. Sperlin throws wide open in the near sidelines, complete. See if that was Fauble. Looks like 86. The numbers are really tough, either 6 or 8, and it looks like it was Greg Fauble. And enough yardage for a Highlander 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Sperlin is really starting to click here late in the 4th quarter. This is a timing pattern, just enough to get the 1st down. Watch Sperlin. This ball is actually thrown before Fauble makes his turn, and just as he turns, boom, it's right there for the 1st. The cornerback nowhere to be seen.
No, sir. All right, the ball at the 33-yard line of Kennedy. 1st and 10. Sperlin this time gives it off to the tailback, as going through there was Ali. Ali down to about the 30-yard line as the clock continues to move with 3:13 and ticking. And now Davis will bring a play in from the near sidelines as Ali would check out. This has been the pattern for the running backs for the Granada Hills Highlanders. 2nd down coming up, and call it a short 7 yards to go.
That extra point miss also important now.
Oh boy, isn't it? Aaron Hess over the ball at center. Quarterback is Sperlin. He has a slot man to the left side. Yashitani split wide to the right. Sperlin to pass. Good protection. Wide open this time is 86. That's Fauble. Fauble breaks one tackle, still on his feet. It's Newman, 88. Mark Newman, the ball carrier, as he takes that reception. And Newman has the big 1st down inside of the 15-yard line for the Highlanders. And right about now, you've got to wonder if this very gutty Kennedy Ball Club is starting to tire.
They have to be. And this is Newman. Remember, he dropped that one. Same pattern in the 1st half, but he's able to show himself and make the catch on this one, and the big man picks up some yardage after he catches.
Boy, he's a tank when he gets going, isn't he? 220-pound senior Mark Newman. The ball at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. Hand off to Ali. Tries to go outside, missed by one man, still on his feet as he gets down near the 10-yard line. Boy, he was almost brought down on a fine effort that time by Andrew Como, 86. Como got a foot, but that's all he got, and Ali picked it clean. and got down to the 10-yard line, where right now, 1:56 and counting, the Highlanders are not only within striking distance for a touchdown, but if worse comes to worse, they could conceivably get a field goal.
I think they want to make sure they get this win. They want 6 here.
Indeed. All right, I formation. Davis replaces Ali in the tailback spot. He lines up behind Bob Allen. Pitch goes to Davis. He comes outside. This time he's going to stay outside as he goes inside of the 5-yard line. So many times this evening we've seen Davis cut back, but this time he stayed outside and was knocked down and out of bounds by an injured Cougar who isn't getting up. As we take a look at the second look at this run by Mike Davis.
As you mentioned, Larry, he waited again for his blocking, and the Kennedy players were waiting for him to cut back, and he just shows his speed and runs to the outside. He's down to the 3-yard line.
And the injured player, as you saw, who made the tackle is not getting up, and we'll have to take a look at him. There he goes. Number 9, he's been around a while, Brett Logan. So Logan's going to check out of the ball game as it's 1st and goal to go for the Highlanders. And right now, with the ball spotted at the 3-yard line, the Highlanders conceivably could take their time in punching for what they hope will be a go-ahead touchdown. The clock is really on their side. They should be in no hurry.
Absolutely. I don't think they'll go to the air. I think they'll give the ball to either Ali or Davis and just try and plug it over. There's no reason to go to the air here. I think they can score on the ground.
All right. They'll be looking at a determined Kennedy Ball Club. The Cougars haven't come this far to roll over. They've played it tough right down to the final minute and a half, and they aren't going to quit yet. All right, there goes a handoff, and moving into the end zone. Behind Bob Allen. Or was it Allen that carried it in? It was Ali. Into the end zone behind Bob Allen for the touchdown.
The young juniors having a great ball game. Him and Davis has really carried the load on the ground, and Ali just burst over, wouldn't quit, kept moving his legs till he got in the end zone.
All right. Extra point attempt coming up. Let's see if they go for 2. My guess is they will. Yep. 19-14 is the score. 2-point attempt now by the Highlanders. Sperlin's pass is caught for the extra point. And he goes to Bob Allen in the right flat, and Allen falls into the end zone for the 2-pointer, and it's a 21-14 score now in favor of Granada Hills with 1:28 remaining, and quite a turnaround here in the 4th quarter by the Highlanders as we take another look at the touchdown. Actually, the 2-point conversion.
Well, that was a smart play. This puts Kennedy 7 points down, and we just saw the tail end of it. They just snuck Bob Allen into the flats and was able to give him the ball. As we see, we're actually going to get a chance to see it. Watch Allen come from his fullback position into the flats, and the linebacker keeps rushing, wasn't able to pick him up, and leaves him wide open.
Good shot by Sperlin as he rifled that pass between 2 defenders. So a 21-14 score as the vaunted passing attack of the Highlanders has been pretty well shut off tonight, much to our surprise. We thought that would be a determining factor. I was tempted, I think I said earlier, to go out on a limb and say this is going to be an all Granada Hills contest, but unfortunately I don't know that much about the rivalry, and the rivalry dictates it isn't going to be an all Granada Hills ball game.
It was an all Granada Hills 4th quarter, though. They scored a lot of points in the 4th quarter and really took charge.
All right, it'll be Allen to kick off. Let's see what kind of a kick he puts. Yeah, and he's got great depth on his kick. He'll probably go deep. Indeed. It's going to be fielded by Doug Rodriguez. Wait a minute. We have a penalty flag down right away.
Must be an offsides against Granada Hills. It's the 2nd time tonight in a kickoff they've blown the whistle dead, and I don't really see a flag. Offsides Kennedy?
Well, maybe they didn't have enough men up in the front line.
That's a possibility. I think the rule is you need to have 5 people within that 5-yard range, and apparently somebody got either too far over or too far back.
In any event, one thing Allen does not need is an extra 5 yards, but he'll take it. the ball will be spotted at the 45-yard line. Rodriguez is deep for the Golden Cougars as they find the sand starting to pass through the hourglass as time is running out on them. This time the kick lands in the end zone, goes through, and there'll be no return as the Cougars will take it over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing by 7, 21-14. And at this juncture, you kind of wish you had yourself a little bit of a passing attack, and that's one thing that the Cougars did not have in large doses. They have a fine running attack and a fine ball control attack, but right now they need big hunks of yardage in a short period of time.
Yeah, that's their disadvantage in this portion of the game because they've only got 1:30 to work with, and it's just so difficult to run the ball down the field using the clock and try and get a score. They need 6, and it doesn't look real good for them.
All right, here come the Cougars. They played it pretty gutsy up to here. Let's see how they handle themselves in the final minute 27. Snap on the shotgun goes back to, the pass was completed to number 24, Fontanet, and boy, was he hit and he fumbled the football, and it's recovered by Granada Hills. Dean Yashitani was the man that made the recovery. What a shot on Fontanet. And you're going to have a look at a pretty hard-nosed tackle here. I think.
That was Yasatomi on the hit. He laid a lick from his free safety position. Watch this. We have an ISO on the receiver. That's Fontanet. He runs a little inside pattern. Watch this shot. Boom.
The ball comes loose. It was Yashitani that made the hit, and the ball is recovered by Granada Hills at their at the Kennedy 32-yard line, and this could just about do it with 68 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, they're going to have to sit on that. I'm not sure how many timeouts Kennedy has, but I think they're just going to sit it. This is one time we know they won't go to the air.
All right, clock begins to move. Penalty flag down. We'll probably have a delay of the game against Granada Hills, but at this juncture, that's not too important. All right, 49 seconds remaining, and it's our job to look over the 2 spotting boards that we have and come up with a player of the game. That's a tough one. Actually, you could pick a player from the losing team, really, I suppose. Patrick Hardy certainly has to be a contender for his fine effort, but when you come right down to it, perhaps the man that made this ball game possible was number 25, Mike Davis. He played some pretty good defense, and he made some very key gains on offense. As Berlin just takes the ball and drops to his knee behind the line of scrimmage, takes the loss, and lets that clock continue to move.
Yeah, I really think it was Davis who keyed the comeback because on his runs, he kept driving and went for extra yardage. And on that momentum, they were able to get back in this ball game. So